say,
Welcome to a housekeeping video. Guillotine Calamity asked me, why do I call them housekeeping videos? I call them housekeeping videos because they're the videos in which I maintain things. I kind of just give out my shout outs and I say thank yous and I answer questions. So if that doesn't sound appealing to anyone, then you can stop when you see the word housekeeping. And as mstelter24 would put it, yes, just shout outs. Okay, so first off, thank you very much to Asian Flavor and Bhutanese Guy for your video responses. You guys are a top notch. Yes, I was very intrigued to hear that Tom from MySpace was a wanker. You'll have to tell me more about that. And you'll have to tell me more about how rude. Sorry, that was awfully rude of me. Okay, so, what was I saying? Yes, you'll have to tell me about MySpace, you have to tell me about the party, and you'll also have to show us each and every single one of the tattoos. Okay, thank you to Bhutanese Guy. I really enjoyed the fact that the video you made of me had the word wanker in big fluorescent writing right next to my head. Should have had an arrow. But yes, I really enjoyed the fact that that was the screenshot. Thank you very much. I didn't realise I used so much Aussie slang. But I've realised just as after you mentioned that I receive a lot of kind of messages with words that say like mate and tosser and wanker, etc. I'm wondering, are you guys just doing this because it's to me? Anyway, yes. Peach408, do I think Justin Timberlake is hot? No, not really. Because he seems very, you know, confident. I don't know him. But yeah, he just looks a bit up himself. I kind of prefer guys who are a bit more subtle about it. But I tell you what, I'll tell you who my first crush ever was. Of course it was a movie star. It was Gregory Peck.
16 reasons
Why I love you. The way you hold my hand, your laughing eyes, the way you understand your secrets.
Oh, yum. Anyway, yuck. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, so roll the shout outs. Thank you to WHUISKAS. Thank you to Baradar99. Thank you to JRB, except I'm not going to thank you for calling this brown gunk in a jar. Speaking of which, Red Wine 65, Erin Sensi, Vinny Dus MC, Joseph BEYUS, Eileen 888, and Mr. Clevis. What do you mean, what is Vegemite? What? Chucking a blue here? What? No, yes. Don't know what you mean. Famous you traitor. Anyway, let's not get into that. And Baskel, it most certainly does not smell like death. Vegemite has a very strong... yes, Vegemite has a strong smell. It's a distinct smell, but it's not death. What an awful thing to say. Okay, thank you to Blonde Chick 80, webcam fan. I use a Macintosh, an Apple, and it has a built-in iSight camera, and I use a program called iMovie HD, which I only figured out how to use properly, about a week ago, really. So anyway, thank you to Pink Colap, who asked me what, and so did Bhutanese Guy, asked me what the origins of the word asked me the origins of you know, my intelligence. Asked me where the word community channel, where the phrase community channel originated. I won't go into that because it's a bloody boring story and I'm sure none of you are interested. Yes, sorry. Thank you to Monkey Claw. You asked me, do I really own a Cliff Richard CD? Yeah, I do. And speaking of which, Dr. Gerbils pointed out the fact that, sorry, I'm talking really fast because there's a 10-minute limit and I have so much to say. Yes, I'm sorry, you can stop watching. Asked me why I put Bach under B, because technically it should be under J. That is true, but then Mozart has to go under A, Corelli has to go under something else, Haydn has to go under something else. It's very kind of, yeah. Basically, composers always go by their surname, so I Composers and soundtracks are my 2 exceptions. Thank you to Not There to Post. What kind of milk did I drink in my Milo videos? I drank whole milk, of course. Good for the teeth. I don't like skim milk. Skim milk tastes like water. It just tastes like water. Thank you to Crystal M1987. Chocolate mush is close enough to Milo, I suppose. I heard you guys don't have Tim Tams, by the way. Fainus informed me that perhaps I should educate you guys about Tim Tams. Do you really not have Tim Tams? I tried to find some, but I ate them all the other day, so I kind of was moving on to a new block of chocolate. Tim Tams and a black blood. Thank you to Cry Engine. Here is your shout out. Hello, Cry Engine. Thank you to Kosh Dukai. Thank you to Nadine903 and Avocado Green. Now, I mentioned in my other housekeeping video, was it a housekeeping video? Possibly, that I live in a pretty rough neighborhood. And it was kind of funny because a couple of days after that happened, I woke up one night and there were 3 cop cars outside my house. But let's not get into that. Yeah, they immediately jumped to the fact that I live in the western suburbs. That is true. Do I live in Bankstown? No. For those of you who don't live in Sydney, this is kind of what Sydney looks like. There's the city, where everyone comes to meet. Here is the north. The people in the north are rich. Here is the east. People in the east are rich. Here is the west, where I live. We're dangerous. And here is the south, where Krispy Kreme is, the first Krispy Kreme was located. So, if you ever come into Sydney, don't catch your train onto the Western Line by yourself, really. No, I like the West, don't get me wrong, but, yeah, it's a bit dangerous in the West. Yes. Thank you to Danish Goma, who eats Nutella with a spoon. As you should. I eat Milo with a spoon. But I didn't want to show you guys because that's kind of disgusting. Thank you to Dave Was There. Nutella also tastes great on crepes. Best crepe I ever had was in France. Tasted great. Thank you to JRB. Thank you to McDoggy Burger. I love the fact that your name is McDoggy Burger. Thank you to Samanji. Thank you to Spike81D. Thank you to Eris Sensi. And thank you to whoever told me that I have a crush on Shivi Taya and asked me if I had had an internet affair with Shivi Taya. No, not to my knowledge. I don't even know if Shivi Taya is a man or a woman. Sorry, I'll stop doing this. I don't know if Shivi Taya was a man or a woman. I prefer to know the sex of someone before I have an affair with them. But no, Shivi Taya is just funny. Shivi Taya's... No, only joking. What's that TED comment on your profile mean? Anyway, thank you to Beams72. Thank you to Adametri74. I'm sorry to Super Target 76, who I called Super Target 76. Oh, no, I called you... Oh. Thank you to Prom the US 0. Thank you to Danny J. I apologize for calling you Daniel. Thank you to Rustron. This is for you. Look, guys, I have a Boston hat. A Boston Red Sox hat. I am from America. I'm from Boston. I parked the car in the... See, that sounds Australian to me. Let's park the car. We drop our R's and we flatten our A's, so it sounds exactly the same. This is my New Yorker accent for Robert. Sorry. Look, it says Red Sox. Don't know what the hell that means, but anyway. This is my New Yorker accent. Hey, George, get in the twuck. I heard it on TV. That's the phrase I heard exactly. So, yes. Thank you to X Poetry X Girl X. Thank you to Glay22. Thank you to Carl, who is NEUNELF911, who is from Dublin. One of my favourite movies, the one that I didn't mention, was The Commitments. I loved The Commitments. You must speak like me. The Commitments do. Yeah. Here is my Irish accent. I think it was you who asked. It was shocking. I didn't actually realise an Irish person would ever watch my videos. But I'll do you a line from The Commitments. Don't you understand, man? The Irish are the blacks of Europe. The Dublins, they're the blacks of Ireland. And then he says something else I can't remember. But yes, I never thought an Irish person would watch. Yeah, that was shocking. So you guys have heard like a million bad accents now. Thank you to Hajanj. Thank you to Jerns. And thank you to White Knight 1907. And that's all I have written down at the moment. So I'm sorry if you deserve a shout out. Please tell me on this video if you deserve a shout out and you didn't get one, and I will give you one. Yeah.